Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back. Another episode of Be You podcast, part of Super Mom's Magic Circle. And today we have an amazing guest, Dionna. You will love her. She is amazing. I can't wait to introduce you to her. Just give me a second. Before we do that, stay tuned. I have one clarity business session for you. If you feel that you really want to step into the next level and you really want to scale your business, send me a fire and then we can do a transformational clarity session together so we can get you to the next level. Now, let me tell you more about Dionna. I met this wonderful woman a few months ago. She's an intuitive business coach and a strategist who helps purpose driven founders scale through a blend of high level strategy and soul alignment execution. She's all about finding who you are and really do it everything that you can to be and to live the life that you really want. She has a background in Fortune 500 and startups, and she brings deep expertise in operations, NLP, and wealth energetics. As a single mom, also, she leads with authenticity and empowers leaders to build alignment and profitable businesses. So, we'll talk about alignment today. Let me introduce you to this beautiful Dionna. Welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me on today. I'm so excited to chat more and have some fun.
Thank you so much, Dionna, for saying yes. And I have to say, since I met you was probably like 4 or 5 months ago, I remember having that session with you. She invited me in one of her sessions and it was incredible. You really transform people. You really help them to find who they are. I can't wait to find more about your secrets. But before we go there, Dionna, tell us, who is Dionna?
I am an energetic, passionate, soul-driven being. I love supporting others in discovering who they truly are outside of their pain, outside of their trauma. And from that space of authenticity, discovering and walking in their purpose and on this in this life, on the planet, however that may look for them. But that is my deepest desire and purpose since honestly, since I was a teenager.
That's beautiful. I love it. I love it. I love it. I already know a few of your clients and I know their stories and I know what magic you made in their life, in their business as well. Tell us a bit about that. Tell us about how you do it.
Well, I right now I work so as a coach, I work with founders one-on-one, and I also have groups. I support my clients with a lot of mindset and energetic work. I do blend some somatic healing. I use NLP and the Akashic records as well. But really, it's custom. It depends on what's coming up for the person. And our goal is to just again remove all the crap remove what's in the way so they can see clearly. That's like step number one. And then it's, well, now we have this huge world, right? We have this huge empty canvas. What do we want to put on it? And I think that's what lights me up the most. And then it's about action. So I'm really big on action. I'm not one of those woo-woo coaches that's like, let's go do a bunch of ceremonies and do medicine. I love that. But I think what we're missing in our spiritual community is that action piece. So I'm really big on action. You'll hear me talk a lot about pairing wealth energetics and mindset work with aligned action.
Love it, love it, love it. So, what alignment truly means to you, Diona?
Alignment means listening to my inner self, using practical strategy and combining the two to make decisions on a daily basis.
And how can someone really start doing more bold actions, aligned actions, and really, make it successful in personal or professional?
I'll ask you this. I'll answer that with a question. What step could you take today that would make you feel a little uncomfortable, but that would move the needle in your business?
Mm, I love that. So, do you believe that your success and everything else, it's definitely on the other side of the comfort zone?
100%. I mean, even love, right? Everything that we want is on the other side of all of the stories we've been telling ourselves, right? And I'm personally going through that right now in my love life is just there's this, voice that's like, it's not safe. And I'm dealing with it right now. So I think love and business are two areas where we really are confronted with, is this who you want to continue to be? Yes or no? And if the answer is no, are you willing to have the courage to get uncomfortable to see what's on the other side of the breakthrough?
Hmm. I'm glad you mentioned about breakthrough because I know you saw so many breakthroughs. I've been there only one time in your session with, I don't know, 20, 30 people, and it was the most explosive session I ever had, I have to say. I remember when you were coaching live, like literally you were just coaching live, and people were having breakthrough after breakthrough. And I loved how you said early on, you were all about action and you're about, you don't have to push it hard, but I'm going to push you to make sure you're going to get where you want to go. So tell us about some of those breakthroughs, how they feel for you, because I was on the other side and I love to see them happen. Do you see your power in there? How that makes you feel?
Wow, no one's ever asked me that question before. Do I see my power? I mean, no, but I feel it. Like I feel this like energy in my body when I'm coaching. And it's like, I know that whatever is happening, number one, is not from me. It's from source creation. I want to make that distinction. While I do believe I'm a co-creator of my life, it's a divine gift that I've been given. And I want to make that distinction. It's very important. And that given gift that is pure in its form, outside of my own craft, right? When it's locked in and I can be the vessel for it, it's the most magnetic, exciting thing that I've done outside of being an entertainer, which I have a background in entertainment and acting. But it's a similar life force energy of like, I know that whatever is coming out, it's for this person's highest good. And so I don't necessarily see my power, but I feel it. And I'm like, oh, this is so cool. Like it feels like an honor. It feels like a gift that I get to be the one to guide it to support someone with a breakthrough. I don't know how else to explain it, but yeah, I mean, that's a great question.
You explained it perfectly. I mean, really, really lovely. I love you are so authentic all the time. Whenever I spoke with you, I have to say, you are really, 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 really good in knowing who you are. How did you discover that? And please tell me more about how was your journey?
Authenticity. I've always been like this. I honestly can say that ever since I was like probably a teenager, right? That's when I really started to like form my personality truly. I've always just kind of been I've always just kind of said what I need to say. It might have upset people, but I've always been very wise. I've always been an old soul, but I've always kind of been this way, and then just like layers have come off that haven't served me along the way. And then I started specifically sort of this self-help journey when I read The Power of Now, and that was back in 2012, 2013. That was the first book I can tell you. Like that's when the moment was like, oh, I'm on some path, right? Hired my first
Mm.
life coach. So, I mean, that's when it really started. And then I would say like my true spiritual awakening began in 2020. Like in terms of like collectively, like a lot of us are going, that's when it really like hit, had a major dark night of the soul, like a notable one, 2021. And these last 5 years, I've just been broken down time and time again. And so I'm like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. So I started coaching 2020. I've also been consulting in startups. I've kind of gone back and forth between coaching and consulting. But that's for the last 5 years, for the most part, this is what I've been doing. And this last year, I've kind of recommitted to my coaching business. So that's my primary focus right now. So it's like even when I ran away, the universe is like, nope, you're still on this path. You can't go anywhere, girl. So I was like, fine, okay, I'll, I'll surrender. Leave me alone.
That's the beauty of this, Dionna, because we as coaches, we are still dealing with real life. And that's the beauty of it, because I hear this so often. I don't know if you heard this before, that you need to be perfect or you need to be that guru. And it's such a cliche. Like, literally, that's the reason why we are still in business, because we've been through it, right?
And we're still going through it. I think it's so great that you said that. I mean, I literally had a spiral 2 weeks ago, like, dark pit again, just like bottom of the hole. And I don't know. I mean, at first I want to go into a shame spiral about the spiral. And then I was like, wait, no, like I'm a master at this. I'm a master of the shadow. I'm a master of energetics and I'm a master of energy. So I get to go into the spiral with curiosity and come out the other side and alchemize it. And so that old part of me wanted to shame it. I was like, no, I'm human. The fact that I'm even naming that I'm having these thoughts actually is what makes me a great freaking coach. It makes me
Yes.
real. It makes me authentic, right? That I'm still sometimes having a hard time in the human experience, that I'm having a hard time being a mom, that I'm having a hard time carrying it all, paying for all my bills. Like, yeah, I get to name that because that makes me human and relatable. And that's why I'm good at what I do because I don't hide that. I let people know I'm also going through this right now in real time. I have a date tonight and I'm scared out of my mind because letting someone see me is, God forbid. God
Oh,
forbid
bless.
I'm loved and I get to like be cherished and devoted to. God forbid, right? So this is why I'm good at what I do. And I'll never not be this way.
I love your approach, and I love that you actually identify that you are going through that, and now you have all the tools and all the strategies that you can really, really go out of it very quickly instead of let yourself being there, which is great. So you mentioned about energetics and energy. Tell us more about that. And sorry, before that, I let me tell you, good luck tonight because that dating, it's a lot for you, especially because I know you told me something. I don't know if I can share it or not, but I honestly, I'm so impressed that you are still here today recording this, knowing that this day it's so difficult for you for what happened. You know, something very difficult happened a year ago. And yeah, I have to say thank you for that. If you want to share it, please go for it. If
Yeah. Well,
not,
so an ex-boyfriend of mine from college who I was very close to and was also a family friend passed away a year ago today in a car crash. He was 33 and had three kids. And his whole thing was chest up, 10 toes down. So he would want me to be on the podcast. He would want me to go on the date. He'd want me to live my life. And this person I'm going on a date with tonight, I met 5 days before he passed. So there's a lot of divine synchronicities, and I'm supposed to be doing every single thing that's on my calendar today, And I appreciate you acknowledging that. It doesn't mean that it's without pain. And at the same time, like the beauty is I still get to be here and figure this whole life thing out, Like I
hmm,
still get that chance, that opportunity.
thank you for being vulnerable. And as I said before, you're such a strong woman. Like I do work with moms in business, but you are from a different world, girl. Like honestly, you are. And when you talk about energetics, when you talk about being magnetic, your face changes. The light in your eyes are just, I wish everyone could see it like the way I say it. So tell us more about this. And for someone who's really not that familiar, how powerful energetics are and energy in general and being magnetic, tell us very easy baby steps.
Well, obviously everything is energy, right? Even a cup has an energy, right? We see it physically, but everything has energy, right? So all matter is energy. And so that's number one. Not that I'm giving a science lesson, but that is number one. This pillow has energy, right? So everything has energy. And so we are a big ball of a lot of energy. And that's what is expressed from our soul through our body, right? So when we transition out of the body, right, the body goes cold, the temperature, right, changes, and there's nothing here. So this energy that is our life force can be molded and shaped and moved and focused. And it doesn't mean that there's some like perfect way to do this. Like you said, we're not like the goal is not to become some sort of like perfectionist at energy. It's to become a master at it, which means that we're always in control of how we're shaping, molding, and focusing the energy every single day. And so what I teach with my clients is just remembering that, remembering these basic laws of alchemy, remembering these basic laws of magic, which is that if I want something or I want to become something, that I have the power to change that energy. And that energy combined with mindset work and somatic integration, nervous system integration allows you to really create and shape the life of your dreams.
That's amazing. So creates and makes the actually really creating the life of your dreams. I love that. I love that. So you met so many people who they came to you having a dream. Tell honestly, share with us at least one story. I know you have lots of them, but share with us maybe one story that you are still like, oh wow, that really, really happened.
So Princess is who comes to mind. She's someone I apparently, and it's so crazy how timeline jumping works. But there is a woman called Princess, who is getting married in July, and I'm going to her wedding in Ecuador. But we went to college together. We went to UCLA here in Los Angeles, in California, and we knew each other, but we weren't like close. And we have been somehow orbiting each other for the last, 15 years. And I reached out to her last summer when I was reamping my next round of coaching clients. Wasn't the right time, but we had a powerful strategy session, a clarity call, and it wasn't the right time. And I just felt like I should reach back out to her. So I did Q4, closing out the year for my Q1 container called Embodied Wealth Accelerator. That's my signature program. And for whatever reason, it was the right time. She's like, yeah, I'll do it. I told her, I gave her the deposit amount. She put it down. And we did another onboarding call and a money challenge. And that I gave her a $10,000 challenge. She made like 14,000 within 14 days. And then like within that month, I think she'd made like 25,000, like just way more than she was expecting. She 10x'd her coaching return from on me from what she paid for me within 30 days.
Mm.
And consistently was just like booking work, booking work, booking work. She does multiple things. She's a multi-hyphenate, but was like consistently bringing in money throughout the container. And she really was able to identify and articulate, I'm really good at manifesting my feminine energy, which she was, but I challenged her because she was overcompensating in it. So when we did another 10K challenge at the end of the container, she made a little less, like it might have been like 11,000. But I said, but look, the two combined, you made a lot, you made overflow here, but you're learning this way, but you still made it. You found your way in the middle. So not only was like she had monetary results, right? Like there was a clear ROI, she 10x'd her coaching return investment, but she also was able to literally find two different ways to hold energy to call in a physical result. And I'm like, but you did that. Like I held the container, I held the mirror, but she did it. And she had the courage to face that part of her that was afraid to move in her masculine. And she did it and still got results. And I was like, wait, this isn't that. Just because you didn't make as much as that doesn't make it wrong. It just means that you're aware of the difference. You're able to shift gears, move the energy in a different way, and still get and exceed the goal. So it was like, okay, you're definitely like my poster child client. I'm gonna use you for everything. But yeah, I mean, that would like she by far this year has been like one of my most rewarding clients to work with.
That's phenomenal. Congratulations to you both because you guided her. You hold her hand and you show her the way. Yeah, she did put the effort in, but you gave her the tools. And so many times that's our power as coaches as well. We give them the hope and we believe in
Absolutely.
them and we see something
Absolutely.
more than they can. So well done to that. And have fun in Ecuador for the wedding.
Thank you.
Yay!
I'm excited. I'm manifesting bringing my partner to the wedding. So just let's just hold space for that.
Yes, let's do that. Can't wait to see pictures with both of you at the wedding.
Yes, me too.
It will be great. So, Diona, you mentioned about those two energies. So, we do know about feminine energy, masculine energy. Tell us more about that and how can we change the gear as well?
Yeah, so our masculine energy is the planner. The that energy is assertive, disciplined, focused, committed. Our feminine is receptive, in flow, intuitive, um, easeful. That energy is guiding action. Like she still takes action, but it's very guided from internal. Like it's very somatically driven. Like, oh, like this would feel good. I have a great feeling or a hunch that this is a good idea. That's your feminine. Your masculine's like, okay, here's the plan. We're going to execute the plan. We're going to be here when we say we're going to be there. So he creates the structural container for her, right? The feminine energy to play and flow. And so Typically, depending on how you're raised, your core traumas, you tend to move on, you tend to create from one more than the other. That's what I typically see. I'm more masculine driven. I'm working on becoming more passive, like a passive manifester, because that's my truest nature. But because of my core wounding, I've overcompensated my masculine. So I'm aware of that. But the two energies work well together. They have to work together at all times. What we want to focus on is understanding which one is driving which one is driving the car, or steering the ship. So that if we do need to make an adjustment, we're feeling burnout, right? We're feeling more stress and anxiety than normal, there's something imbalanced. So we want to move to the other side and maybe uncomfortable, but to allow that other side to come in more fluidly. Something I'm constantly working on is resting more my feminine, not from like a cliche that we hear in the spiritual community. When I say that, I mean resting more and trusting my intuition. So that's something I'm working on, like trusting that it's safe for me to go tonight, right? And be held, literally, like physically, emotionally, spiritually. Like that's something I'm working on. But that applies to my business, right? Because that means trusting that the clients will show up, trusting that they'll pay on time. That's all feminine energetics,
Mm,
right? Whereas the
nice.
masculine knows, I know I'm going to da 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 and da 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 da. She's in working in trust. And so that's something that I've had a really hard time with that I'm still working on to this day.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that. That's beautiful. I love it. That's really good. That's really, really good. Thank you. I will make some notes. Hmm.
We have the AI summary, so
Yes, we will, absolutely. But Diana, I remember when I met you a few months back, I keep go back to that session because that session, even if I work with lots of coaches, and I think I told you that, what you did for me in that session opened my eyes to something that I had no idea it's happening. And I can say it. It's absolutely fine with that. I'm fine with that now. I wasn't at the time, but I'm okay now. You realize very quickly that I am an overachiever, if you remember that.
I do.
I do remember that very clearly because it hit me really, really hard. And I'm so glad I have to say thank you for opening my eyes to that because I slowed down and I have to say things worked really, really well for me. Yes, I opened another business later on in the month, but it's fine. I slowed down for a few weeks, which is good. What can you tell us about this? Because I'm pretty sure you see this quite often. What's this overachieving actually, what?
So overachieving comes from childhood. It can be from different experiences, but older eldest children, if you're abandoned or neglected, if you had to take care of other siblings, if there was a problem child or a child with, possibly a health condition or a child that got more attention, you maybe had to overachieve to compensate to earn love. And so that shows up a lot in adulthood. If I do this, then I will get love, or then I will be seen, or then they will give me time. And that could also show up in partnership. So that is a core wound. That's how that core wound shows up as adulthood is overachieving. And that's
Mm,
typically um, something that we do in our wounded masculine, overachieving to earn love.
mm.
And
And you,
so identifying that is important. But also, I want to say there's nothing wrong with being ambitious and being more masculine driven. It's just being aware that when you're operating in the wounded aspect of it, that's detrimental and it can really harm you, right? Both mentally, physically, energetically, that can harm you. So I think becoming aware of it, taking a pause, taking 3 weeks off, whatever you need to do to physically rewire or rebalance it is really, really important.
hmm. Yeah, that's the reason why I was a burnout queen. I can definitely say that. I went through burnout so many times, and now I identify when I'm about to get there, which is cool. It's a huge change for me. I'm still working on that, but it's much better. Thank you. So I think you are the one who said to me that money and love, they have the same frequency.
Same frequency. Yeah. Same
Tell us more
frequency,
about
right?
that.
Well, the
Mm,
connection I just made with overachieving is a great example of that, right? If I get good grades, if I make more money, then they'll love me. That's that wound. The same energy, right? So money is just an expression of abundance. Love is an expression of abundance. One of the ways the masculine energy shows love is through what? Financial provision. Not only financial provision, there's emotional provision, spiritual provision, physical provision, but one of the core ways the masculine biologically in this reality as human beings that is through financial provision. The wounded masculine uses it transactionally, right? Men pay for sex in a lot of different ways, right? That's a wounded way. But it's the same frequency. If I'm able to my propensity to receive love is directly correlated to my propensity to receive money.
And this feminine energy?
Well, the feminine receives money through trust and intuition. She has an inkling to reach out and ask for money. Like I'm in my 30s. I ask my dad for money, sometimes just so I can practice it. Literally, I'm like, hey, dad, can you send me $100? I literally do that to practice because that's 1000% my feminine energy. It's not based off control. There's no plan. I'm just reaching out because it would feel really good to receive love in the form of that money.
Mm. It's so cool. Thank you, Dionna. Thank you. Oh, I wish I could talk with you for hours and hours and hours and hours. So whoever would like to find more about you, where they can find you, please tell us about that.
My main marketplace and website is through Stan Store. So it's stan.store/Dionna Chambers. And I believe you'll be putting that in the show notes. So
Yes, I will.
everything is there. The first step with me, honestly, is just to book a free clarity call. Um, Roxandra did it. It's free, it's powerful. And then from there, we decide on what's going to be a right fit. Right now, primarily, I'm taking one-to-one clients on. But if at that time you schedule a call, I have a group program running, I'll obviously let you know about it.
That's beautiful. And thank you so much for being you. This is the last question. I promise I let you go. What be you means to you?
Being you means unapologetically listening to your intuition and moving throughout life, your relationships, and your business from that space.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you. I really, really appreciate
Thank you for
Dionna.
having me.
Thank you as well. It was a pleasure to have you. And please go send her butterflies. And then she knows you're coming from this beautiful community. She has special discounts for you guys. Just go introduce yourself, like you said, book a free clarity coaching session with her and see what sort of magic you can create together because she's amazing. You saw how brilliant she is. I absolutely adore her. I love your energy. I love how authentic you are. And I have to say, I'm so grateful to have you in my life. High five for that.
Thank you.
Thank you as well. And whoever really wants to scale their business as well, just send me that fire. Let's see what we can do together. If you're really tired of doing the same things and they are just not working for you, let me show you the way and let me be the mirror for you so you can really do exactly what you want in life. This is all from today. Keep on smiling, keep on shining. Be You podcast continues. See you soon. Bye.